From the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
It's election day in Georgia. Who's on the ballot and what today's results could mean for the future of the Peach State.
Progress, not perfection. ViStar members report finally being able to access some of their online accounts. A look at what's working and what's not. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. We want to start by taking a look at the weather. Hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, that's the name of the game this morning, Mark. All right, Mark, thanks. Today, Georgia voters will head to the polls to cast their ballots in the state election primary. It will determine whose names will be on the ballot in the November election.
Voting precincts will open this morning at 7 o'clock, and one key race will determine which Republican candidate will face Democrat Stacey Abrams in the race for governor. 5 candidates are running for the Republican nomination, and that includes Governor Brian Kemp. The others are Catherine Davis, former Senator David Perdue, Candace Taylor, and Tom Williams. The primary also includes the Senate race. Here are the names running for the Republican bid. They are Gary Black, Josh Clark, Kelvin King, Jonathan McCollum, Latham Sadler, and Herschel Walker. The Democratic race includes Tamara Johnson-Shealy and incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock. Now, if no candidate in a primary gets more than 50% of the vote, the top 2 candidates will go to a runoff, which would be in June. And you can follow the results today here on Channel 4 and online at news4georgia.com.
This morning, some ViStar credit union members are able to log into their online accounts, but it comes after days of issues following a planned outage. Now, here's what customers are seeing after entering their website credentials. The viewer sent us this. It says, "Thank you for your patience. Initially, transactions back to May 13th are available below. Please view statements for previous transactions. Transfers between ViStar accounts are currently unavailable." On Monday, we noticed a steady flow of members at ViStar ATMs. After 11 days of frustration, some customers say they've had enough.
I won't give them a third time because we don't need to be aggravated, frustrated, and worried about our credit.
The Florida Office of Financial Regulation is now monitoring the problems with the credit union. Now, this weekend, friends and family will honor a local U.S. Army Staff Sergeant who was killed by a bear in Alaska. Sergeant Seth Plant's funeral is Saturday morning, and his body was flown home yesterday.
This is still such a heartbreaking story. So people from across our area lined the procession route to pay their respects. He was taken from the Jacksonville International Airport to St. John's Family Funeral Home in St. Augustine. Plant's family said he always wanted to serve his country. They also describe him, though, as the life of the party. And the family will hold a viewing on Friday. The funeral will be held at Anastasia Baptist Church on a Saturday. And tonight, City Council members will discuss a bill that would reimburse city employees for travel expenses if they have to go out of state to get an abortion. Councilman Reggie Gaffney, who is currently running for state senate, introduced the legislation on Friday. It would reimburse those workers up to $4,000. Gaffney spoke yesterday. He says he does not personally support abortion, but wants people to make their own decisions.
I love Jesus just like any one person. But I just believe that a woman has the right to choose what she wants to do with her body, and I don't think it's a man's job to do that.
That is, he wants to pass this bill. So if it's the woman's right, why he's standing with passing the bill for them, for our tax money? No, I'm not agree. My tax money goes for the workers. If he wants to pay from his pocket, good for him.
Gaffney hopes to have the bill approved without going to committee. It is not likely to pass. The News for Jax team is investigating a third suspected death related to a local diving school within the past 8 months.
Isaiah Johnson drowned on a graduation celebration trip in September. He had just graduated from CDA Technical Institute in August. Now, we've been investigating the school for more than a month. News 4 Jax I-Team investigator Vic Michelucci spoke with members of Johnson's family, and they say they've recently filed a lawsuit against the school.
Always say I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
A big man with a big personality and big dreams.
He found something that he really loved and was passionate about, and we were super proud. And it was cut short, very short.
21-year-old Isaiah Johnson's loved ones are devastated. It's been 8 months since he drowned while diving at Jenny Springs. That's northwest of Gainesville. He was there celebrating his graduation from commercial dive school.
My son should be here. He should be here, and he's not. And 5 months after his 21st birthday, we were reading his eulogy.
The family's attorneys are now filing this lawsuit. It's against CDA Technical Institute, where Johnson just graduated. It's also against the instructor, who they say threw the party, claiming he allowed or provided drugs and alcohol while students used CDA gear to dive. Lawyers point out an autopsy showed Johnson did not have any drugs or alcohol in his system.
Isaiah was not trained specifically to dive into the caves that are at Jenny Springs, and we believe that caused or contributed to his ultimate death.
The News4JAX I-Team has been investigating CDA because of a number of student deaths. Johnson drowned in September in Gilchrist County. Then in February, Victor Pierce drowned while training at Flamingo Lake. In April, Fausto Martins drowned at the school's Trout River campus. We also uncovered police reports showing a suicide in December and a fatal drug overdose in 2019.
It shows the family that it's not an isolated incident with CDA, that there are a number of issues there.
I've been by CDA's campus here on the north side several times to try to talk to the leaders, to get their response to all of the allegations. But I've been told time and time again, they have no comment. But Johnson's relatives want them held accountable.
It won't bring Isaiah back, but it also will in some way bring justice for the other families who have suffered losses at the account of CDA and their potential negligence.
And I checked, right now there are no criminal charges in any of these deaths. I'm Vic Michelucci, Channel 4, the local station.
The Association of Diving Contractors International is an independent group that certifies commercial diving students. That group is investigating and has suspended the Academy's membership. The head of that group says the school did not notify him about Johnson's death. The school is still open. Meantime, gas prices spiked 6 cents in Florida last night, with the statewide average at $4.53. Now, for perspective, it was $2.87 a year ago. In Georgia, the average is the same as yesterday at $4.14. Nationwide, drivers are paying $4.59 on average. Right now, the highest prices are in California, with an average of more than $6 a gallon.
And covering Flagler County, people living in Bunnell are under a boil water advisory this morning. Now, it is because of a power outage that happened over the weekend. It is just a precaution. The Bunnell Utility Department is asking customers to boil tap water for drinking, cooking, and other necessities. The notice will stay in effect until crews determine that water is safe to drink. Well, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I know, right? So how one hiker's attempt to take in the scenery turned into a rescue mission on the side of a cliff. Wow.
Stick around for that. And it's beginning to feel a lot like summer. Of course, we're all feeling the heat. The 4 ways you can prevent heat exhaustion.
Live from the local station, News4JAX starts now.
Coming home, how you can honor a local soldier killed by a bear in Alaska as he makes his final trip through the places he loved.
And lawmakers will meet today to discuss the property insurance crisis, how they plan to help insurance companies and homeowners. Good Monday morning, everyone. We will get to those top stories in just a bit, but first we want to talk about the weather.
Yeah, meteorologist Mark Collins is here, and Mark, I know a lot of people want to know what's in store for today.
Thank you, Mark. Today, a procession will be held for a U.S. soldier who was killed by a bear on base in Alaska. Staff Sergeant Seth Plant was from St. Augustine.
He was training with a small group when the attack happened. Sergeant Plant's body will be flown home today. The flight will land at JAX this afternoon at 1:40. Family members will gather privately before the procession starts. Here's a look at the route. The procession will leave the airport and head to Stark on US 301. Then it will take State Road 16 through Penny Farms and Green Cove Springs before crossing the Shands Bridge. The procession will then cross St. Johns County before heading up to A1A in St. Augustine. It will end at St. John's Family Funeral Home. Friday, family and friends will gather for a visitation. Plant's funeral is scheduled for Saturday at Anastasia Baptist Church. It will start that morning at 11.
Today, lawmakers will meet for a special session to address Florida's growing property insurance crisis. Now, some homeowners have lost coverage and are facing high premiums. The state's crisis has been fueled by home insurance fraud and out-of-control litigation costs, along with billions of dollars in losses from natural disasters. 4 bills were filed in the State House and Senate on Friday. Lawmakers will look to help the insurance companies and homeowners. A special session is expected to run through Friday.
Breaking overnight, police are working to learn more after a shooting at a convenience store on Kings Road. A girl was found inside the store who had been shot in the hand. She was taken to a nearby hospital. Police are talking with witnesses. If you know anything that could help, call police or Crime Stoppers. The man arrested and accused of attacking a woman at a BP gas station is now out of jail. Kevin Williamson was charged with battery. His bond was set at $20,000. News 4 Jax reporter Marilyn Parker spoke with neighbors who are concerned.
It was a quick weekend in jail for Kevin Williamson. He's accused of beating a woman at a BP gas station on Monday in Arlington. Williamson was arrested Friday night, had his first appearance Saturday, posted bond, and was released Saturday night.
Did you see that video of what happened at the BP gas station?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
We spoke with a woman in his neighborhood off McDuff Avenue.
What went through your mind when you saw it?
It upset me, and it kind of traumatized me. And then when I looked on my sexual predator list, I actually saw the guy that lived across the street that was beating up on the girl, Williams.
She didn't want her face on camera, but says since Williamson was released, she wants police to watch him closely.
I'm frightened for all the other people out here that he's out, and he could very well do this again.
She even called police this morning and filed an information report making them aware of her concerns. Williamson in court Saturday asked for his bond to be reduced to nothing, but the judge denied it. He's been a registered sex offender for over 30 years and faced other charges, including domestic violence and aggravated assaults. Court records show violence charges were dropped. In Jacksonville, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
Tomorrow, voters will head to the polls for Georgia's primary election. The primary includes the state's governor's race. Voting precincts will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Early voting ended on Friday. On Election Day, you can follow the results here on Channel 4 and on newsforgeorgia.com. More than 400,000 ballots have already been cast. Party contests for governor, the U.S. Senate, and dozens of other state and local offices will be decided. Most Duval County students will not be allowed to bring book bags to school today. Schools are enforcing a no backpack policy for the final week of class in the district. The heightened security comes after recent violence near schools. Each school has a different plan in place, and the district says parents should reach out to their child's school if they have any questions. And new overnight, President Joe Biden held a joint press conference with Japan's Prime Minister.
The president promised concrete benefits would come from a new Indo-Pacific trade framework. The White House says the plan will help the U.S. and Asian economies work closely on issues including with supply chains. The president also addressed struggles with inflation in the U.S., saying it's going to be a haul before we see relief.
Now, does that mean we don't have problems? We do. We have problems that the rest of the world has, but less consequential than the rest of the world has them because of our internal growth and strength.
This comes as parents are struggling to find baby formula because of a nationwide shortage. The U.S. expects to receive another shipment of baby formula from Europe on Wednesday. 39 tons arrived on Sunday. Now, this is video of showing the cargo being unloaded in Indianapolis. The next shipment will come from Germany and is expected to land in Washington, D.C. It will include 114 pallets of Gerber Good Start formula. The White House is partnering with FedEx to get it delivered. Nationwide supply chain issues are creating problems for hospitals. They are seeing a shortage on a certain type of dye used in CT scans. It's linked to COVID lockdowns in China, where the dye is manufactured. News4JAX reached out to local hospitals to see how they are handling the shortage. UF Health and Mayo Clinic say they are working to ration their supplies. Mayo says it's conserving dye so it can continue to serve patients. Health experts expect the issues to resolve towards the end of the month.
Gas prices in Florida dropped 1 cent overnight, so the new average in the state is $4.37 per gallon. Now in Georgia, drivers are paying $4.14. Nationwide, the average is $4.59. Despite high prices, AAA expects 100,000 more Floridians to hit the road this Memorial Day than last year. That is up nearly 5.5%. Roughly 90% of holiday travelers are expected to drive to their destinations. And starting next week, Baptist Medical Center Nassau will temporarily shut down its maternity services. It is because of an $8.5 million renovation project. Maternity services will still be offered at other Baptist Health locations in our area. Patients who need emergency maternity treatment will still be able to go to Baptist Nassau's emergency department.
This morning, VyStar Credit Union members still do not have online access to their accounts. This is 10 days after the planned outage. Services have still not been restored, and leadership there has no timeline on when the problems will be fixed. However, VyStar has assured everyone that their money and transactions are secure. Now, yesterday, the credit union opened 19 of its branches. Usually, all of its locations are closed on Sundays. Some News4JAX insiders were still frustrated despite the additional hours. One wrote, "I am a senior and unable to drive and count on the online banking. So this has been very inconvenient. I'm on a fixed income, so I do many different transactions frequently. Calling the call center does not fit my needs." And we still want to hear from you as well as other insiders. So those insiders can comment on all of the top stories on our website. It's free. Just head to news4jax.com/insider to sign up.
Starting today, drivers will have to start paying to use express lanes on I-295 eastbound. The Department of Transportation says crews have finished setting up the automatic tolling system. Drivers with a SunPass will be charged 50 cents for using the lanes. Those who do not have a pass will face a $25 fine. The tolls will only be charged during peak travel times. Those are on weekdays from 6 to 10 in the morning and from 3 to 7 in the afternoon. It is Boating Safety Week. Ahead, the 4 tips to keep in mind before hitting the water.